Now, first, I ask you, what is the village? What does it mean to be a ninja?
Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people, giving you my review on Naruto Shippuden episode 485. Woo! Yeah, I just got done watching it, so I must say it's another solid entry in this, I guess I wouldn't say mini arc, but who knows how long this arc's gonna be. But it's not a solid entry in this arc. I said my first impressions. It's definitely, the pacing is slow, but you can see it's building up to something, so I hope they're not cutting this thing short. Because at the end of the day, I haven't really read the novel that this arc is based on. So I don't even know if it's been doing it justice so far. Taking it from its source material. So yeah. But yeah, this episode was definitely not a solid entry for me. Even though the pacing was a bit slow. But one thing that really stood out to me, and it was the same thing last week, that the animation for this episode, just the overall visual quality, it really stands out. It almost felt, especially like the first few shots, like when you just start the episode, after the opening, of course, it felt kind of movie quality-ish, and I must say, they're doing a good job visually speaking, with this arc. But then again, even the past few episodes before this arc have been pretty good, especially that Naruto versus Sasuke fight. But yeah, so continuing off last week, we get to see Sasuke come to a decision that he'll investigate independently the source of the recent exploding humans problem. And of course, being that it's Sasuke, any interaction he has with any other character in the episode is bound to be very interesting, to say the least, or at least very entertaining to watch. And I think that's one thing that makes this arc, that's one thing that's gonna make this arc really stand out, because I always find it's interesting to see Sasuke interact with characters on a whole, especially at this current point in time in the series where he's on his journey of redemption. So it's always interesting to see, and it always adds to the episode for me. So we have those two shinobi from last week deciding to follow him, and apparently the little girl, I believe her name is Chino, yeah, apparently she's actually older than Sasuke. So that was a fun scene to see. It was actually the other guy, I don't remember his name, that told Sasuke that she's older than him. And yeah, of course, Sasuke, he has that whole lone wolf attitude, and he's going on to find Orochimaru while they're following him, and they keep asking him what's his plan, what he plans to do. And of course, we get minimal dialogue from Sasuke as expected, which is definitely in line with his character. So yeah, so we eventually get to where we see Sasuke finding Orochimaru's current hideout. And of course, apparently, Yamato, Leaf Village has assigned Yamato to apparently watch over Orochimaru, I guess. Well, they didn't explicitly state that, but I'm assuming that's the case. And with good reason, of course. So, of course, Sasuke, we get to see, how should I put it? I wouldn't say character development. Well, it kind of is, but a nice exchange between Sasuke and Yamato, in the sense of Yamato basically asking him if what he's about to do in terms of finding out information from Orochimaru, if he's let Kakashi or the Leaf know about this, and of course it's no, and he plans to let Kakashi know if he gets anything worthwhile information-wise from Orochimaru. So it's then and there that we see that Yamato is saying that he's not really supposed to let anybody through like that, but since if it's for the sake of the Leaf, then he'll allow Sasuke through. Of course, we get a little bit of time before Sasuke gives answers and says yes, it's for the Leaf. So it's another interesting thing to see Sasuke's character, especially from where it's coming from the beginning of the series, from the end of the war till now, essentially. So even though it was a small exchange, it really held meaning for Sasuke's character there, I believe. So of course, we go on and we see Sasuke, blunt as ever, confront Orochimaru to ask information about Fushin from the Lightning Gang. I hope I got it right there. Yeah, so it's then and there that we learn that Fushin, he works for this other guy, and Ain Oyashiro. God, I probably got it wrong. But yeah, apparently Fushin was a part of this guard unit, and this guy Ain Oyashiro apparently is a collector of Kekkei Genkai. So Orochimaru is there telling him that he has a way to probably lure him out because that's what Sasuke is there for, find out information, and basically, as Sasuke put it himself, doing what he has to. And this leads me to my next point about the episode. It's hinted throughout the episode. I think there are 2 or 3 key things. One, that Sasuke he's been on this journey for a while. That's one thing that's been noted, and I guess it's pretty evident because I believe his hair is actually longer than when he left the village. So there's that. So, because even at the beginning of the episode, Kakashi asks how long will Sasuke go on this journey. So I'm assuming it's, especially since the last Naruto the movie was 2 years after chapter 699, that fight, well, that last scene when Sasuke got his headband from Naruto. And considering that most of the characters are in the last outfits, I'm assuming it's in that 2 year. It's been at least a year and a half, going on to 2, if not 2 years plus now. So there's that. But the episode, the second key point I really wanted to say is that the episode really gave off this vibe of I wouldn't really want to say redemption, but basically it gave off that vibe of Sasuke really just doing what he has to atone and I guess fit in and see the world for what it is now, essentially. Because after Sasuke and Orochimaru leave the hideout, we get to see Karen and Jugo and Suigetsu before, and we got this comedic scene. But after that, Sasuke and Orochimaru leave for this island in the middle of God knows where, the sea or whatever. And it's then and there that Karen really pulls out a very interesting theory that why she feels that Sasuke has returned to the village, which could be true as well. And if it is, it does add to Sasuke's character. And it's that even though the war is over, there will always be people that will be after. I guess I wouldn't say, or I say evil, but people with an agenda. And people with an agenda in this show, they would definitely want Sasuke's Sharingan and his Rinnegan. So Karen is theorizing that probably he's trying to protect the village in his own way by staying away from the village, so it lessens the chance of people attacking the village. So there's that. So, and I feel to a degree this is true, because I can see Sasuke doing that without actually explicitly saying that's what he's doing. Because we know that, really and truly, the reason he's left the village now is his journey of atonement, and he plans to investigate Kaguya and her castle, essentially. Anything that has to do with Kaguya. But I could definitely see that as an extra reason as well. So we eventually get to the island. Oh, well, before that, we have an interesting exchange on the ship between Orochimaru and Sasuke as well, which I find was pretty cool. And is that some of the key points was that Orochimaru is saying there'll always be someone in every era that really has a different agenda. Obviously evil in this context, but he was saying that essentially it's people like him, Sasuke, and Kabuto who may be the insurance against quote unquote mavericks like this, essentially. And one key line that I actually liked when Orochimaru said that sometimes there are things that cannot be protected by righteousness alone. So I found that to be, that's pretty deep when you really think about it, when you really meditate, I guess. So that was cool. This episode has a lot of nice subtle undertones, that once you actually pull them apart, really reveals a lot of depth to, I guess, how this arc's being written. So yeah, we eventually get to the island, and apparently we get to see a bunch of rich people are actually betting on, like, I guess, shinobi gambling. Essentially, one set of people have their shinobi fight the next, and depending on who wins, one group gets the other shinobi. So, in order to draw out this Aino Sashiro, with who's collecting Kake Genkai, Orochimaru suggests Sasuke. Well, he's betting Sasuke, essentially, against somebody else. And because apparently the guy only will reveal himself when there's something there that he wants. And of course, based on what was said earlier in this episode, it kind of ties things back up in terms of essentially he wants Sasuke's Sharingan. So Orochimaru uses Sasuke as the bait to draw this guy out. And of course, the episode ends when we see one extra exploding human enter the ring. And yeah, that's your episode. It's another good episode, another chill. It's pretty chill with subtle undertones, which definitely add to the episode. It adds this depth. Yeah, definitely. It's another, I'd say, B plus. Yeah, another B plus episode. Yeah. I especially liked what Shino said at the end, when before she walked away, in terms of Sasuke was saying that this whole situation with the gambling is, let's just say he's saying it's wrong, it's stupid. And then Shino was saying that if to the victim, the assailant and the third party are no different, because really and truly how is the third party different if they criticize and look down on the losers without trying to even help? So I found that was another interesting, subtle line that really adds depth to the episode. So all in all, it's another solid entry. Of course, as I mentioned before, I don't know, personally to me, it's always interesting to see Sasuke interact with other people, especially, and as I mentioned before, especially at this point in time where his character is undergoing this next massive change, essentially. So, all in all, it was a good episode. If you watch the episode, let me know what you think. If not, at least let me know what you think about its review. Share this video out. If you're Naruto fans as well, subscribe for more. I'm thinking of doing some other Naruto segments. I know I've been doing a lot of Dragon Ball on my channel, but yeah, I've been just so busy. But hope you guys have a wonderful night/day, depending on when you're hearing this, and I'll see you in the next one.